Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. Here we go. How many
So-
drinks do you guys have before we start the show?
I have
Well, at
had
least
3
one.
beers.
Minimum
Yeah.
one always. Like, you have to.
Yeah, you can't come in raw dog an episode, right?
No.
I had an interview at 3 today, 3 till 4, and at 4
So as soon
I
as
had a
that was
beer.
over, did you actually have the beer sitting right there next to you? So as soon as
No.
close that leave Zoom,
It's in the fridge. Gotta keep it cold.
You're on the interview. You're like, hold on 1 second. Okay, we can finish.
I want to give you guys crap for not having beer coolers like right by your desks where you are, but I don't have one either. I just bring a cooler down, so I'm not any better than you guys.
I mean, I have 3 beers. I put them in koozies. We don't go through 3 beers in the 45 minutes ish that we do
gets
this.
you
And
warm.
we have a break.
You used to go through so many when we were doing it down here. We would crush each 4 or 5 beer easy. And now I'm with you. I feel like I get about 2 in. I get 2 in during the episode, and then I switch over to my vodka for the last call. So yeah, 2, maybe 3 beer.
What are we doing
And,
wrong?
yeah, I don't know. I'm talking. Well, we all know the truth. I'm talking too much.
Who?
That's why I'm not drinking as much as I'm talking too
Where?
much. Here.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. You want to get started so I can start talking some more?
Yeah, do we have Ben on tonight?
He told us last week he's going to come on, and then we haven't. Yeah. I mean, I hope he's okay. I hope everything's
I
right.
like him to totally ghost, so I do hope he's okay.
Yeah. But we'll get him on. I want to talk to him about all this crazy
All the
number of
recruits.
recruits that have
I
been
know.
coming in, both for this season and looking forward to 2027. So, and find out whether or not they're going to stick around if McGee's not here next season. But hopefully he's here, because that means we did great, right, this season.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
because I don't think he's gonna get picked up somewhere else. So he's definitely here for 2 seasons if he does well.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd have to go crazy to get poached from us. He'd have to win everything for he'd have to win 10 games and then he'd get poached or something.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. Well, so
What to poach mid-season, so he'd have to go 10 out of 10.
What is the actual number? How successful would McGee have to be in this one season after the 2 disastrous seasons we had the past 2 years to actually get picked up for a head coaching job? Not, I don't know. I guess for anything. Because I guess if he went for a position coach or a coordinator or something like that, that would still, probably
would
pay
get
more than
that.
here. Yeah. So what would it take? What would it take for him to get hired away?
10
But
wins.
let's say
minimum.
a head coaching. Let's say a head coaching job, or a
10,
head
10
coaching,
wins.
or a coordinator at a elite level program. 10 wins. Do you think 10 wins? 10 wins in our conference. So just regular conference play. We finish the regular season 10-2, and then lose our bowl game. 10-2 may put you in the national championship.
I think you beat a UCF. You beat the team you're not supposed to beat at that 10 win mark.
Well, and that would take him to a head coaching position at one of those not P whatever it is anymore, right?
Not the
It'd
high
be like
P's,
one of
the
those
low P's.
we were a P, but now we're no longer. Now we're a G.
The low P's, the little P's, little P's.
Yeah, the Pack should really brand as a lowercase p, because that's what they are nowadays. Well, they're not even a lowercase p, but whatever. You think that 10 wins gets him hired as a head coach somewhere else after the 2 seasons we had already?
If the climate's right, yeah. I mean,
If the right opportunity exists, right? Like somebody who just happens to have worked for him or something like that, or interacted with him in some way. Yeah, it could happen.
Well,
but it would take that.
Give me an example of the type of school you guys are imagining that would hire him. He would have been what at that point? 14 and I don't know, 40 something.
Any of the
Louisville.
Pack, whatever. Louisville.
You think Louisville? Well, they are like
They're in the
negative
hole.
$18 million.
He's
Well,
affordable.
you got that on the agenda, right? So we'll talk about that more because I have more to say about that.
I did not have it, but we can definitely add it in there. But yeah, so all right, cool. I didn't have this conversation on the agenda either. I was going to lead off with baseball, but all right, yeah. So we think 10. I feel like it's got to be more than that. You think ACC hires a Sun Belt coach that
Big 12
that won
Maybe lower. Maybe
Low
lower
end.
tier ACC and anything in the Big 12 probably. Yeah. So maybe Louisville's a little too. I mean, they
aggressive.
hired Charlie Strong some years ago, and wait, no, they created Charlie Strong, didn't they?
Yeah, I think most people consider ACC and Big 12 on the same level, though. I mean, obviously your FSU and Clemson are at the top of that list, but I think in general the ACC and the Big 12 are kind of viewed as that maybe they're the lowercase p conferences.
I mean, the ACC is like they're about to fall off. So
yeah, unless they can do something else.
I think they know it too. I think they know this is like they're on the
last
step of jumping
off. You don't
off.
sue your existing members to keep them if you think you're solvent without them, right? All right, I don't know. I don't think there's any situation where he gets hired. I mean, I don't know if I want to be proven wrong or not, but I don't think there's any situation. I mean, he would have to make it to the college football playoff, in my opinion, and win something. I don't know. I don't know if it requires what if he wins a national championship game at Georgia State
He's gone.
after the winning 4 games in the first 2 seasons. Then yeah, obviously he's going to get hired somewhere. I don't know if it's even a head coaching job. He's going to get hired somewhere for something, but I don't know. I don't think winning the conference is enough.
No.
I don't think winning a bowl against if we got into a bowl game against a really good program or something, I don't think there's enough. Maybe winning 2 games in the football playoff gets him something, but I don't know.
He wins 1 game. We get in the college football playoff and he wins 1 game. You're definitely on a list of, okay, you've done something. You can come over here.
Could you imagine? Think about it from our perspective. Let's say that there's been a coach who's been absolutely garbage, and this is what we have with Coach Hayes. Coach Hayes, not that he was garbage before, but he was nobody, so to speak. I mean, he had a long career, a good career, but he did great in the NIT. Won the NIT with somebody else's players, and we brought him here thinking that it's going to be awesome. I don't know if I want to get burned like that again. You have a coach that's won 3 games in his first 2 seasons and then comes around and does something awesome in the third season. I don't know if that's enough for me to want to be like, all right, let's see what he can do next year. Maybe after 2 seasons.
If we hired Del McGee today and his record at his previous school was what it is here at like an FCS program or something, he was the head coach at FCS program, I would be not very excited about that.
Right. So so let's say who's a FCS program that's kind of like, so let's say Mercer. Let's say McGee has spent his first 2 seasons as a head coach at Mercer, and he has the same record we had here: 3 wins the first season, 1 win the second season, and then he won the FCS championship this year. Would you want to hire McGee to be our head coach the very next year?
Yes. If he won the If he won the championship, yes. If he just won 10 games.
How far would he have to go in that FCS championship before? I mean, we're kind of, nickel and diming here, or, getting a little specific.
Semifinals.
Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is all these coaching hires, like they're weird to me already. Some of the coaches that hang out, I'm like, why are they hanging out? Like they've been bad. They're not very good at this. And I think the depth of the coaching pool it's just not that deep. And then 2, networking drives the whole thing. It's not always about like who is able to get it done and all that. It's like who's been around and who's networked with the most people who have hiring decisions. It's weird. It's weird how these people hang out.
And who has that last name that may get fans in the city to come buy tickets to see you play or coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I'm sure we'll talk more about football. In fact, I know we will talk more about football later on, but I wanted to I wanted to say that I stopped by the site of the new baseball stadium today. Drove by there to check it out.
I saw the pictures you put.
You got my finger right there in the middle of the lens. Definitely.
Who the hell was that? You should have. I hope you punched that guy in the face.
Those are your kids. You give it to your kids, right? Your kids took.
I'm not 50 yet, but I'm taking pictures like I am. So yeah, a finger in front of one of the. But fortunately, I took more than one, and that was the only one that I had like that. But the reason why I did it was they posted a Instagram thing about one of the foul posts going up, and I was like, okay, I'll go take a look at that, and drove by, and I was surprised to see they actually have the stands in. I don't know if it's all the stands, it's probably all the stands, but they had quite a bit of stands right up there, and that really surprised me. It was cool. It was really cool to see. It looks good.
Wait, was that in the pictures? I didn't think I saw.
You got to zoom in because I was all the way back in the blue lot. I think it's maybe the second to last. Maybe it's the last picture. Second. There's 2 pictures of it, but you got to zoom in. You got to zoom in. Yeah. It's way better than we have at Panthersville. I did two different pictures of different little angles, but kind of head on with it. the first one I took was kind of a little bit more in left field, and the other one was kind of dead center field, where if you zoom in on it, you see how it goes, which it actually points a little bit more east than I thought it was going to point. I kind of thought that center field would be closer to those magnolia trees. You're really far off of them. Really far off the magnolia tree.
Really?
You're almost pointed straight towards what is that? Hank Aaron? Capital? Is it Capital that turns into Hank Aaron? Yeah. So
I mean, there's
it'll look good.
I mean, yeah, it looks good. I mean, there's definitely party deck space out there, right?
But yeah, that's kind of I was visualizing while I was there. If I'm standing here, can I watch this game and get a good view of the game? And I think absolutely 100%. You have a fantastic view of the game sitting out there. Now, granted, the very first game, I wouldn't want to go sit out there in the seats or be along those baselines watching the game. But I think that my go-to spot's going to be watching outside. My only concern is they put, I don't know, barriers, walls, something, ads or something up above there just to block that kind of view, which would sound like something that Cobb would totally do. But I was thinking about like how much money would it cost to do that versus how much money they would get from people actually buying season tickets to go inside and see it instead. I'm betting the walls or whatever they would build would cost more money. So
it looks
yeah,
good.
I mean they could just hire some, Georgia State police. They don't even have to hire them really. They're already there. You just have them close off.
just say you can't sit. You can't be. That would fall in line with Georgia State. No,
it looks. It looks bigger. Like the number of bleachers. I was not expecting it to go up that high. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one thing to see the renderings and stuff, but you start seeing it in real life, and those, like I said, the bleachers, the stands, however that seating is going to work,
whatever they are,
looked. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to see a flattened field and a foul pull halfway up, which I did see all of that, but I also saw the stands. It looked good. It's making progress. I think that we'll see what it looks like in a couple more months because baseball starts when they start that crap, like in February, March, right?
Yeah. Hopefully it's ready.
Yeah. Let's see. We talked about this a little bit last week, and there was some more information that came out about it, so I wanted to bring it back up again. But the Sun Belt rumored to be wanting to raise the exit fees for schools to leave. Yeah. And the reason why I want to bring it back up is a number's gotten floated out there. And I don't know if there's any truth to this number, but for the Sun Belt, if you wanted to leave the Sun Belt to go to the American or the Mountain West,
$5,
or the PAC, I don't think anybody's going to go to Conference USA or the MAC. Maybe Marshall would go to the MAC again. I don't know. Anyhow, $25 million. They want a $25 million exit fee. This is the rumored number to exit the Sun Belt.
Should have exited when we had the chance.
Well, this is the president's got to vote on it. The presidents have got to vote on it, and I can't imagine anybody. The big thing it seems like online when people are talking about this is your buyout should be tied to TV money. Like how much money are you getting from the TV deal versus how much money does it cost you to get out? Because that's kind of what everybody cares about. If you're going to leave this conference, you're giving up the $2 or $1 million, whatever it is that the Sun Belt's paying out. How much more money do you get to go to this other concert? And like that conference, because that difference pays your exit fee and pays your entrance fee, right? So you got to figure out how much more money justifies that. One guy suggested that the exit fee should be 5 years of TV money. So $10 million would be reasonable to leave the Sun Belt, which seems incredibly high to me. But if they want $25 million, we need to get up to $5 million a year in TV money, and that still seems incredibly high to me.
The AAC, just for reference, is their media deal is about 10, a little north 12? Of $6 million per year.
That's it.
And the Sun Belt is like a little south of $2 million per year.
That American money, you have to remember, is legacy teams are getting full shares, and those Conference USA 6 are getting less shares.
I don't know how that broke it out. That was just Jim and I answering when I asked Google.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I think the agreed upon numbers people say is that American's like 7.5, and Sun Belt is 2. Like a pretty hard 2.
So 4 years you break even or I guess 5 years you break even on that.
But I made a comment last week. I think that I understand why you have an exit fee, but the exit fee should not be penalizing the team leaving more so than just stabilizing the teams that are left afterwards. And $25 million seems like it's penalizing the team for leaving. That's pretty big.
I feel like they know something's up and they're trying to prepare for it and they want to make some money off of it if it does happen. That's all it feels like. I don't think they're trying to keep us here. I think they're just trying to like prepare for the inevitable and make money off of it.
Do you think that you could actually start getting schools together? Like, hey, if we all kick in a few bucks, can we pay the $25 million to kick a team out at this conference?
Hey, look, you want to kick us out to the American Sunbelt? Get right on it. Y'all pay our exit fee, we'll go.
Well, so you make a good point, Tim. And some of the other, just, again, rumors on the internet is that the administration at Appy State and Jimmy Madison are voicing their displeasure with the media deal. And they don't like the fact that there are certain programs that are bringing in the majority of the money through the TV deal, but they're all getting equal shares. And it sounds like Appy and Jimmy maybe turning into an FSU and a Clemson. They're like, we want more of the media, like not even distributions. They want a bigger share of everything.
Everyone wants a bigger share,
or to be out, or to leave.
F off.
Yeah, I mean,
Part of a conference.
I agree.
We're part of a conference. We don't get more or less for.
We're all buddies.
Like, what are you talking about? Make any sense?
I have no argument on that one at all.
Yeah, I want our school to have more of a share too, but that doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna try to force it to make sense.
Our buddy over here, Jabari, says that Kennesaw State would go to the American. In what world? Like, how bad is the American that Kennesaw State gets the invite?
Well, they had a good football season, so clearly
they're Conference USA champions. Congrats to them. I don't think that Kennesaw gets a look at by the American for not by the American. Hell, I don't know if Georgia State gets a look at by the American in their current situation. So obviously someone has to leave the American for Kennesaw to get a look at, or for Georgia State to get a look at, or anyone to get a look at. But I just don't see Kennesaw. We would go to the American.
Same thing.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's fine. He spelled it out. Maybe he thought I was thinking of Kansas State would go to the American. Kansas State may still get ass kicked in the American, right? So no, I don't think
not already in a higher conference than the American.
They're Big 12. Big 12. I don't know. I'm really bad on the bigs. I know that the Big Ten's got the big ones: the Michigan State, Ohio State, and then it starts. The big conferences kind of start bleeding into each other for me. I don't know which ones are which because it's part of the country that I've really never been to or care to go to.
Well, there's not much up there other than basketball.
I was gonna say there's not a whole lot of pull to go there ever.
I'm pretty sure Illinois is Big Ten, right? I think so.
I mean, it sounds right. It sounds like it's the right region. And if they're not Big Ten, they're MWC, and I don't think they're that.
Right. I just think it's funny that down at the Sun Belt level, we're here in the same kind of situation with Appy and Jay. And honestly, I'm not surprised by Jimmy Madison in the least. I guess I shouldn't be surprised by Appy, but it's.
I mean, I think maybe they, Appy and Jimmy think, okay, when everything implodes, we're the ones that are going to get pulled up to the ACC, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to be ready. I mean, they might hate the $25 million thing.
Do you think there's enough schools that would vote for it? Obviously, Monroe would vote for it because they don't want to. They're not going anywhere.
They love free money.
Do you think? I don't know what the rules are. Does raising the exit fee, is it a simple majority vote? Is it a super majority? I don't know how the conference is structured, how it works, but you'd have to have at minimum, 8 schools that would agree that $25 million is a good idea. I would assume schools in the same state kind of vote the same way. I think the Louisiana schools probably are all going to go because they get pushed down from their higher ups. So I think your Louisiana is probably going to be no. Your Arkansas State's probably going to be no.
Yeah, but not every state has the same. It's like there's like circuits or but I don't remember what they're called. But there's Texas A&M and UT, right? And so there's UT San Antonio, UT whatever, and there's Texas A&M and College Station. There's Texas A&M and another.
Jerry was telling us about that in Louisiana. They have the Louisiana State University System of Louisiana.
Right. It's not just one Board of Regents.
And they have the University of Louisiana system of Louisiana. That state has way too many colleges for the amount of money it has and for people to be as dumb as they are.
And the amount of people, frankly, right? There's not a lot of people in Louisiana.
Touche.
Yeah, I mean, people that are actually smart enough to go to college.
Yeah. Yeah. And not a lot of people want to go there either. I mean, I know New Orleans is a draw, but nothing else is.
We're talking about they have all this swamp land you can go
And well,
tour.
and then isn't Tulane like a brain school? Isn't that supposed to be like a smart school, like a good academic program?
Tulane is a good school, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So, and of course, it's in New Orleans, so you got that, and then you have all the like redneck white trash that could afford. They actually made some money in somewhere that go to LSU up in Baton Rouge, and then everything else is just like whatever's left. All right. Oh, so there's not a lot of Georgia State specific stuff, but there's a lot of like college sports stuff going on.
The 5x5?
5x5. There you go, Tim. You want to explain it to Ryan? Because he hasn't looked it up at all.
I think it's like once you turn 19, you get 5 years of eligibility, and that's it. I don't know. That's probably butchering it, but something
No.
close to that.
So right now you have 4 years. Sorry, you have 5 years to play 4 seasons. 5 years to play 4 seasons of college football or sports in general.
Unless you ask for an exception because they will grant it.
Right. Meaning that's what your
So
red
it's
shirt is.
5x5.
Your red shirt is that first year you get to practice with the team, but you're not playing any games, so you're red shirting, right? Well, this is 5 for 5. So 5 years to play 5 seasons. It eliminates the red shirt, and they say they're not going to do waivers, or the only thing that would be is for military service, pregnancy, or like some kind of like
Traumatic
There's
life event. I don't know.
something like that, which of course at that
The
point
world
is like,
ends.
right.
You get an extra year.
But yeah, but they're going to be like,
I
they
mean, what if
basically
you tear your ACL in game 1?
yeah. I
Yes.
think I don't remember how strict they were on the injury thing, but yes.
Okay, so it's really 5 plus 1.
And nothing was said about the transfer rule, because I know part of this they were trying to push through was they wanted 5 for 5 and then a one transfer cap.
A freebie.
One transfer cap. After that, you'd have to sit a year, which was kind of the old way it was, except for you get the freebie right now.
So all they did is officially extend eligibility and not cut that off. So it feels like they went the opposite direction that they were intending to go.
I think this was to just stop having like 28-year-olds playing college football, because
But it's still 5 years.
Because what Tim was saying was part of it is it's the 5-year clock starts like after your high school graduation or the first academic season after your 19th birthday, whichever one comes first. So the oldest, in theory, the oldest you could be is 24 playing your senior season.
I see. So we don't have eligibility anymore.
That's what they're trying to stop.
Is that happening a bunch?
Well, yeah. Well, who was we saw all these kids that were like in their late 20s that were playing, but a lot of them.
But that's because of COVID, and they would make exceptions during if COVID happened again. So
there was a lot of things
you're not trying
COVID,
to fix anything. They're not fixing anything. It's still 5 years.
It's still 5 years, but also you have
With
the
exceptions.
guys, the people coming back from the NBA and I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, but a lot of times when you introduce bureaucracy to these kind of things, it's like, hey, maybe we don't just maybe we just accept that this isn't necessarily a problem and
The only thing
move along.
that I like about this, I don't like the idea of the government making decisions on how this to operate. The one thing I do like about it is these people that are these government politicians that are doing it, most of them that have a big, strong say-so on what they want to have happen have never played college athletics, have never worked in college athletics, whatever. They're just fans of their teams. And that's what we are, fans of our team. So this is like people writing laws like, well, you can't do more than this, so like limit them to that. Or I want my team's really good at doing this, so I want to try to get my team to be able to handle or make everybody follow this kind of suit. So I find that amusing, but I don't like the idea of the government.
Yeah, I find it horseshit. Well, because it is. I mean, and it is. That's exactly how this all works. It's like they're looking for it. They're probably even talking to administrators, coaches.
What do you want
at their school, being like, "What kind of law would you like to see? Us force other people to do? Like, what's going to work for you? What's working for you that we can try to make everybody else do?"
You should get Charlie Codman on that.
Well, it still doesn't make any sense that they have to go to the government. So, all right. So you've got a big
Why
name
are we
coach
going
like
to the government?
like
Seriously.
Kirby Smart. So Kirby Smart's like, all right, this system is broken. We're having to play under broken rules. We got to get some structure around this. Well, it doesn't. If Georgia puts rules around themselves, that just doesn't do anything to help the sport. It just kind of limits Georgia. All right, cool. Well, we'll go to the SEC. The SEC will make these rules. Whatever. All right, cool. That doesn't really help the sport. It kind of limits the programs in the SEC. So then it's like you need a group that kind of oversees the college conferences. They could say, hey, guys, we'll come up with a set of rules that everybody plays under. And then that way, no one can,
Equal.
do things differently. You got to all play under the
It's run
same
by
rules.
members. It's run by school membership, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
presidents and stuff. They're the
We'll
board.
have presidents from different universities that sit on boards as directors and everything, and they decide how we're going to push this thing forward. And you just got to do that. And that way, the government's never involved.
So
Do
we
they
have
do that?
that.
Do you think they ever
We do
thought of
have
that?
I don't know. They
Well,
thought
see,
about
that's-
it
that's
at
the
some
thing that's-
point, and then they just decided to shit can it and ignore it.
That's what's confusing to me is I guess, and maybe I've just not been paying very much attention, but I really only hear about this like we don't have enough structure when I'm on this podcast. I haven't really heard any article, like read any
Yeah.
articles that say that kind of thing at all.
We have head coaches.
The head coaches are very vocal
Yes.
about how unfair it is and
About how they want more rules that they have to play by.
Yes.
Because like limiting the number of practices that they're allowed to have wasn't enough.
Well,
like
they're
all these recruiting
not talking about
rules.
that. They're not talking about that at all.
they don't
They're
want
talking
those rules.
all these recruiting rules. You can only have X number of recruits per year. You can only have X number of scholarships. You can only like
how it wasn't that many years ago that you could only have like 20 kids could come in a recruiting class or 25 kids in a recruiting class, and now you have like you see rosters that are like 53 new players on the team from the previous year.
yeah.
I
don't know when that all changed or why it changed or anything like that, but
I always thought it was weird that you had to limit like that. That's what's kind of screwed us quite a bit because the way that Curry had structured the rosters at that time, we had a lot of kids that were losing their eligibility at a time where we could only bring in whatever it was 2025, and we just didn't have. To Trent Miles' credit, he did the best he could with what he was given, and you can't replace a 1-for-1 the kids that are leaving. You're not going to be able to put together a team that has the depth to handle everything, to play.
That limitation never made sense to me. I get having like a scholarship cap and saying, okay, cool, you can have, your 85 scholarships or whatever. I think it's 85. That makes sense to me, but like, okay, you have 30 people leave. I can only grab 25. So I'm working on like a five person deficit. I know you can give like a walk on a scholarship and stuff like that to like get back up to your 85, but you already had the walk on.
Yeah.
He was already playing.
I mean, there should have been something like you can do a 1-for-1 replacement. Like if I graduated 35 kids, I should be able to bring in 35 more.
Yeah, no, just whatever. Just you can't go over 85. That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which we're
it's
at
up
now.
to you to
Which we're at
manage
now.
it from there. But
which we're at now.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird to ask for more rules and the force of government to do it.
And why couldn't the NCAA do this? Just
they could
that's
have.
The other thing.
They could have, but how was it when the BCS? I think it was when the BCS started. Was basically when the college conferences said we're not going to play by NCAA like playoff rules or whatever that bowl structure was. We're creating.
It was all postseason stuff.
We're going to create the BCS, which is outside of the NCAA, and we're going to do our own thing. And then that
was still all postseason.
It was all
the season itself was still NCAA.
But as soon as they separated themselves to start managing something outside the NCAA, it's going to creep back in and take over more and more. And that's where the CFP came from. And they just kept on separating football further and further away from the NCAA. Plus, all these damn lawsuits against the NCAA. Granted, NCAA probably was not like, leveraging penalties equitably or evenly across all the programs. But all these lawsuits and like it came, all right, cool. We deny your waiver to come back and play another year. I'm going to sue you. Injunction, you can play. We'll figure it out afterwards.
They basically just neutered the NCAA and then made them like hesitant to actually do what they're supposed to do. And that's where we are. And then they whine and complain that they did it and they wanted someone else to fix it for them. the
Yeah.
coaches. Fix this
Yeah.
shit for us. Like, it's not working for me. Or that school's cheating. I don't like it. Fix that.
Well, it was always
Nobody's cheating.
it
I
was
mean,
the take the
everybody's
ball and
cheating,
go
but
home. It was always the take the ball and go home thing. It was like, hey, if the NCAA, if you don't allow us to do this, then we're just gonna, create our own league and do their own thing, which we're getting closer and closer to. But and now we've gotten this far, and they're like, we need somebody to do this. No one else could possibly do it other than the courts. Anybody could do it better than the courts.
yeah, please no. And I mean, it's going to be lawsuits there too, right? I mean, there's lawsuits. I have sued the government because of laws. I mean, been a party of a lawsuit. So like, I
Well,
don't understand how this doesn't fix that.
exactly. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, suing the government is great, by the way. Makes you feel great. It's a big old plus. I like it. I recommend it.
Well, along the same
10 out of
lines,
10. Would do again.
so along the same lines of these kind of changes, there's one coming into college, could be coming into college sports. It's a proposal by Major League Baseball, and this one,
What is it?
it kind of sounds good on the surface, but then also sounds incredibly shady. I think the overall consensus is that fans don't like it, but right now you can go straight from high school into the Major League Baseball draft. They're proposing that they're going to institute a 2-year minimum. I think that's the same thing that college basketball has. Maybe college basketball has one.
Yeah, I read
I think
something
it's
about
one.
this.
Yeah. So yeah, they will no longer they'll shrink their draft from 20 rounds to 12 rounds. They'll no longer draft high school players. They've got to go through college at least 2 years.
Okay.
So first time I heard this, I'm like, cool, man. That means we have better players coming into the college ranks. But then you start looking into more of the details. That means that they save about 160, $170 million a year and having to pay for these additional players across the entire league, all the teams.
Because they've got their they're sponsoring like minor league teams that they'll stash these players in
Right.
if they're so
Right.
that they're ready to pull up whenever they need them.
Right. Exactly. But then I'm also like, all right, cool. Right now, college baseball is far closer to what sponsored sports were supposed to be about, the student athlete it was supposed to be about, than basketball or football. Hey, I have a natural talent that I've busted my ass for that can get me a scholarship to a school. I'll go get my 4-year degree at a school while I play baseball. If that turns into a major league opportunity, fantastic. But I'm going there to get a degree to go on and live my life, whatever else. Now you're going to be flooding these schools, these kids. Their intention the entire time is like, I know I'm draft worthy as an 18-year-old. Let me go play for a school, maybe win a college World Series, maybe not. Either way, I'm dipping after my sophomore year no matter what, because I'm going to go to the Major League Baseball or MLB draft. Now you're keeping kids out of college, or at least keeping them out of the scholarship they would have had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, and they're paying to develop them for 2 years too. A lot of times it's a public institution, so it's like taxpayer money now is paying to develop these kids
And
instead of the
then
MLB.
the real sticker to the whole thing is this only applies to domestic players. They can still sign a 17-year-old Dominican Republic kid to go straight to the minors.
It's weird. Did they say like why? What's their reasoning for these changes?
All I've seen is it's a proposal that's out there. This has not been a decision made
Okay.
to my knowledge. This is a proposal that's out there, and it may be something they just kind of put it out to see what the fan reaction is. It seems like the fan reaction really hates it. I don't know how much of that is coming from fans of, like, most of my social media feeds come through college sports, and a lot of it Sunbelt, where there's a lot of minor league ballparks, and I don't know, don't want to see they want to see these like awesome high school kids come through their ranks and go straight up to the minors straight in Major League Baseball. I don't know.
Yeah, it is kind of like right now, like you said, the people that come into college baseball have already been like rejected by the MLB once, right?
Mhm.
So they're not like really just trying to beeline it there, like you said, and so it is like a different kind of student now because they're not
Mhm.
really going to be students. Whereas like right now, it is heavily student. Yeah, no, that's an interesting, weird thing about it. Yeah. I already thought baseball was weird. Maybe it'll even out college baseball a little bit though, because I've been saying it now for weeks. Is like it's like bonkers how Troy State made it to the semifinals or whatever it was. I
It
think
was
it was a
pretty
semifinal. It was
impressive.
like 8
Yeah.
people in a semifinal, but whatever.
I think that they lost their first game. They won one game in the losers bracket, and I think they lost the next game in
Yeah.
the losers bracket. I could
But
be wrong.
still.
They may have won another one. I don't know, but yeah, they won a game in the College World Series.
But like you get like a pretty small hot hand, and you don't even have to be a very good team. But if you get your hot hand right then, you're gonna go. Where like MLB even like there's enough of a series where like you can't really do that. You have to pretty much have like a pretty good organization put together for that season to make it all the way. College is just like, nope, we don't got no pitchers, so
We done.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it now. At first, I thought this was a great idea. This is a good chance to make college baseball even better. And that's why I'm more thinking about it. Like this could actually, kind of suck. I mean, I guess it may make games better a little bit, but I think I think the overall impact could be more negative all around than just the game.
I think it's really weird for them to limit the pool of recruits. Like for them to go out there and actively say, "Oh, we're gonna reduce our recruiting pool by whatever percent this reduces it by." For what? Like if they're not explaining it, then there's something there that they
I
don't
think it's
want to say out loud.
I think it's because the pay goes down from $360 million a year to $200 million a year. They can save $160 million by letting
They could
college.
just not pay him. Like they could
Well,
just
they
not
barely
recruit that kid too.
They barely do pay him.
Yeah.
The thing for me, I think the real thing for me that really got me was the fact that they could still bring in the international kids.
Well, international. I don't like what. That's
Yeah.
then you're like putting the kids here at a competitive disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, I know if immigration lets them in.
True.
Well, that's not what that. But that's immigration is letting them in after they've graduated high school or accomplished whatever their country's equivalent is.
I don't know. Are they?
Whatever their
Well,
country's
they'd
equivalent
have to get a
is.
visa. It just during the World Cup now we've already like that ref or whatever that like they
got
let
rejected.
In. Yeah, just thinking about it.
Y'all have to tell me about that last call. I missed
We do
that.
last call action on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, interesting. We'll see whether that comes into kind of fruition at all. That's a pretty good last call topic, I think. And then I guess the last thing to talk about is kind of Georgia State related. We found out today Georgia State was participating in the Olympic Day promotion.
Or
participating, or it was their day. It was their thing.
No, it's I've never heard of it before. At least I don't think I've heard of it before, but I looked it up. And Olympic Day has been going on since 1948.
Really?
And it is June 23rd. It happens on June 23rd. It is honoring the birthday or the founding of the Olympics. They refer to it as birthday in the thing that I saw. The founding of the Olympics. Maybe it's the first day of the first Olympic game or something like that. Yeah, and it's a movement to get people out, getting active, doing something. Yeah, and a lot of schools and universities and groups do like runs and stuff just to get people out there. Yeah, and Georgia State's was.
You were filling me in, my friend.
I 40 years of life.
I was putting those together. And I literally typed out, "Is this a thing or what?" And I was like, "Well, maybe I should go look it up." And so I looked up Olympic Day, and yeah, it is a thing that's been going on. And I guess Georgia State heard. So the Olympic organization is using a slogan of "Let's move," and I guess Georgia State heard "Let's move the cauldron out of our home."
Dude,
and
that
they're
shit,
like, all right, let's
that
jump in.
Fire.
That's actually when you post it. Given all of that news, I thought it was just sort of incorporating some of the some of that press and like they were just trying to take that momentum and do something with it. No, it's totally different. But it's a cool thing.
Celebrate Olympic Day and move the Olympics away from where it happened. I love it.
So they went out and they were like tabling right at the on the what's it?
Beltline.
Beltline. I was gonna call it Beltway, and I was like,
protest,
no, that's
right?
different.
Protest?
That's DC, right? The Beltway is DC.
Yeah. So they're on the Beltline just tabling and like talking up athletics and stuff.
They were very vague about what it was, but I'm like, I know it's not, the whole thing's not like, a continuous circuit, but like the whole belt line is supposed to be a 22-mile stretch around the city, and they're like, "We'll be out at the belt line." I'm like, "Be more
The
specific."
belt line.
I would assume they were probably on the east side belt line around Old Fourth Ward Park.
Maybe
That just
or Pima Park.
yeah. I feel like that's right. And maybe they're walking, maybe they're mobile, maybe they're kind of going around doing stuff. I don't know. They were doing
They
something.
said they had swag. They were giving out stuff.
These are the things we've been saying for years they should be doing. Just getting out in the
Promoting.
Hopefully, they
public.
also had forms that they were, you could sign up for your season tickets.
Hmm.
They don't usually have those even at the stadium during events. So
And if they do, they don't work. You need to know your seat number so that you can tell them what seat you want to get. They
yeah,
can't look up where you want to renew.
yeah, you can't. You could buy new. Oh, that was true. You could buy new. You just couldn't renew. That's
Yeah.
true. So hopefully they had the ability to buy new, and that
Yeah.
they were pushing it. So
Yeah.
asking for donations if somebody's like, oh, I went to Georgia State and I have a ticket and blah blah blah, being like, oh, cool. Would you like to help our NIL situation?
Would you like to come out to a game with on us? And hey, you could donate some money to your former school.
The thing I feel like is that people
Yeah.
that live along the Beltline could probably donate a lot of money to the university, but the people that are walking down the Beltline don't have any disposable income. They're spending it all on all the drinks
On
and
the belt
food and
line.
everything that are on the Beltline.
That's pretty
It takes all
expensive.
kinds. It's good. I like to see him out in the community doing that kind of stuff. That's really good. It made me sort of wonder if this was like some new marketing effort or if this is like it sort of felt like maybe athletics is folding in some of the stuff that Coach AD McGee was pulling in, and maybe that marketing effort is sort of now being expanded, and that they were like, hey, you should go out to crowded areas and give out
Promote
swag and talk
yourself.
up the program and promote and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Some, boots on the ground marketing, whatever it is, do more. I love it. It's great.
These are the types of things that I like to see. I would have liked to have seen a little bit. I didn't notice it until like this afternoon. I would have liked to maybe have had a little bit of heads up on it, but like you said, when I messaged you, Ryan, or messaged the group, you said baby steps. This is a good start. Let's do it. And honestly, maybe an announcement is not even necessary. Do they need people actually to come out, seek them out, or do they just want to hit people up that are naturally at on a gorgeous day, as you put it? Excuse me, walking down the belt line and everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't need us to show up. They need new blood showing up.
I thought about that. I was like, oh, do I take the kids out of the belt line to go find this whole thing? And I was like, you know what? I feel like I could hear my wife talking in my head.
It's hot
You don't
outside.
you don't have to go to every single Georgia State thing.
do.
Hey, when I clicked on it though, there was another promotion they were doing where you signed up for like steps or something.
Hmm.
And the top 3 step getters after a certain amount of time got these like cool Under Armour shoes that, I mean, you couldn't see it. They had like a blue glaze over, like they had put up an overlay on them, so I couldn't really tell, but they looked like they were black with like the blue Under Armour logo. They look slick.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see a fuzzed out image. I actually saw a picture of black and blue shoes. So, but
Well,
yeah,
there was like a blue overlay, so the black looked
yeah.
bluish to me.
I think there's an app or something called Step Up, and it's partnered through them. And you go through their app, and I guess it uses your phone or your watch or combination thereof, and it tracks your steps for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or something like that. And yeah, the top three winners, top 3 most. Which whoever does that is hacking it. They've
Put on their dog.
something. Yeah, they found the neighborhood cat, and they just put it on his collar, and it's like, all right, cool. I'll change it out at feeding time tonight. And
Speaking of promotion, they also did some World Cup watch party thing at
Oh,
the
yeah.
box. And
Yeah.
inside
Do we
the
know how that
box.
went?
yeah, you can watch the games inside the box. And
Was that for students or was that open to everybody? Because I didn't hear about
I
it.
feel like it was open to everyone. And they had some sweet scarves. I wanted one so bad, but not enough to go there. So
You sock
I think it was
scarves. I saw something about a watch party, but I didn't look at it. Whenever I saw it, I couldn't look at it, and then I forgot about it until just now. And I assumed it was just something that was like on campus, like in one of the rec centers for students or something. But it was actually at the box. That's
yeah,
awesome.
they had like a Father's Day thing and everything. You could have gone.
Yeah.
Oh, looked
could
pretty
have.
cool. Yeah. And I think somebody in our group me commented though, like why can't we do this with away games
Well,
It's not the
or
World
in
Cup.
away game, any of them? I
It's
know
not the
World
World
Cup
Cup.
is gonna have more. I think to open the whole facility, having the World Cup, I think they will draw more for that event than the basketball team does. So it makes sense. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't that mad at it.
Oh no, that's fine. I mean,
It's definitely
hell,
a tough draw. Like, there's
I
so
would
many
lo-
events happening for the World
I
Cup.
would love
that,
for there to be
yeah.
so many events that Georgia State's doing that I couldn't possibly keep up with all of them, and they were getting regular attendance. That's my
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah. So I
So-
mean, it does seem cool. I mean, that was probably just like the university as a whole. So I did get a follow up too when I paid my invoice for my season tickets, but from the university. It said thank you for your donation to the university. It didn't come from at the athletics department, but it was it was
That
like
means-
click this link to see if your company will match it, and then go ask them for more money. I was like, this is a great thing to do. This is awesome. A great campaign to go follow up with people who donated to see if their
So
company will match it. But it wasn't athletics.
So that means athletics got locked out of their account. They forgot their password again.
Maybe.
Like, hey, we can't do the. It was probably university said, hey, do this thing, and they said, yeah, we don't have access to that account anymore. Like what? There's like 6 different Twitter accounts for Georgia State sports that we've lost access to because
That's crazy.
The coaches just set them up, and then those coaches are gone and aren't returning emails about how to get the password reset on it.
Of course.
Because
Why
we're
would you?
like,
You're
pay
done.
me, bitches.
No.
$1 million.
Well, I cracked open after my conversation about only doing 2 beer an episode. I did crack open beer 3, and I think that maybe I was a little premature on that because I think Tim, it's time to take us out of here.
I hope. I want to get the last call and talk about festivities.
You mean how we met up to watch soccer this weekend?
Yeah, we checked out a new
Oh.
bar or 2.
All right, Tim, take us out.
Thanks everyone for listening. We're head over last call. If you like what you heard or you didn't, join our Patreon anyway at patreon.com/state of Atlanta. You get live streaming access to last call, discounts on merch, beverages at tailgates, Ryan's echoing headset. Just kidding, it's not echoing right now. And more. $5 is all it takes. Become a fan of the show. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Peace.